Okay, hello again. My name is Ari. I have to add something to the previous video that I completely forgot to mention. I was so eager to just get some stuff out there right away to kind of like break the ice for myself, honestly, that I forgot the second reason. I had said that there were two main reasons why the situation with JD and Pooper Scooper hit home for me. And the first one that I mentioned in the first video was about the DV, domestic issues that my father had gone through because of my mother, and I went through them as well. And her behavior was very similar to Pooper Scooper's, AH, or the nameless one, as another YouTuber calls her. So that was the first reason, and how heartbreaking it was for me to watch another man go through this kind of thing. And the woman completely getting away with it and manipulating people. And so anyway, so the second reason was, magic has always been a very important part of my life. And I'm not talking about magic tricks or, white magic and all that stuff. I really don't care about that stuff. Well, I find that tricks are actually really cool and impressive. But when it comes to like white magic and all that stuff, I find it actually pretty ridiculous, because I believe, again, just opinions, eh? It's not to diss anyone. This is just my personal opinion, and I'm talking about my experience, okay? So I'm not dissing anybody else. I'm just giving you my opinion. And I think that it's a way to kind of have a sense of ritual or control in our lives when we have these practices, like these certain practices, when magic is everywhere anyway, so anyway, and the only person, so there was my dad that was magical. We could talk about magic. We spoke about so many things. He was an extremely educated man, very well read. He was almost a doctor of theology, born in 1926. I was born in 1977. So he was a well of knowledge, and we would talk about magic and entities, as well as he would talk to me about his passion for aerospace. I mean, it's very random stuff. So he represented, even with everything he was going through and what he was doing to himself with alcohol, I was still very, very close to him, and he was my psychological savior. He was the one that helped me keep going on. And there was another person that was a great influence to me, and it was my half-sister. She was 18 years old, almost 18 years old when I was born, and she was magical. She was just, I can't explain it any other way. She was otherworldly. She had this ethereal kind of beauty about her, and her eyes were so light that they were almost white. It was like a nice pale blue sky. That was the color of her eyes. She was stunning, gorgeous. She looked a lot like her father. She was like all of the good stuff from my mother and her father were put into that being, and it was crazy. She was magical. She loved anything that was occult or hidden or cool, underground, and so she was a great influence to me. And me being a little girl with such a beautiful creature, a beautiful human being as a big sister, I admired her greatly, and she allowed me to use my imagination. So this use of my imagination, thanks to my father and her, it was just, I could go anywhere at any time. And so it was a great gift that was given to me. And the only other person outside of that made me believe that magic was more than what was close to me, that other people lived that way, even if it was only in their work. So Johnny Depp represented that for me. So when I saw Edward Scissorhands and like all the other things that were made around the same time, I felt like there were no limits for me, okay? And so he represented magic outside of my immediate family or bloodline ecosystem, if you will. And so that was another reason, or that is another reason why the situation is so frustrating to me. Because it's kind of like the Nothing from the Neverending Story eating magic. By letting women like this get away with their crimes, because it is criminal what she's done, she should be put in jail, or at least like home jail. Like she should have something on her ankle and just sit down at home, watch TV and drink that wine she likes so much. But anyway, and we have to kind of, I fought my whole life, just a quick parenthesis, I fought my whole life. It even got to a point where I worked in an MMA gym part-time, like 1 day a week. I would like exchange cleaning the gym for unlimited access to all the courses and everything like that. So I only did Muay Thai. I never fought, but I was challenging my body every week from 9 to 12 hours. And that's on top of working full-time as a hairdresser. And that was like, for me, the ultimate way of fighting off demons that I was still, I guess, too afraid to face at that time. So long little parentheses here. So I fought my whole life, and I'm tired now. I'm 44 years old. I'm exhausted. But at the same time, I'm living my best life. I'm able to experience things in less of an aggressive way. And so I'm not fighting anymore, okay? So I'm not going to fight off the Nothing. I'm asking you guys, anybody out there who has this kind of love for, call it prana, magic. I call it the snow because it looks like kind of like TV snow, when the snow goes, when the TV like is, it used to be like unplugged or whatever. So that's how I see life, actually. That'll be another story. And I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to ask anybody to fight the Nothing, because that will make the Nothing grow more, actually, even if your intentions are righteous. So keep doing magic, keep doing beautiful things, use your imagination, and try to live by being honest and humble. I learned, thanks to my dad, that humility was not necessarily being submissive. It was just being truthful. And the more we do that, the less power people like AH or the Pooper Scooper and all the people that have defended her and enabled her, okay, they will have less power if we all do this, okay? Because they will become obsolete. They won't be important anymore. Do you understand? And that's the best way, for me, that I found, is the best way to transform our lives. If we want to make our lives better, that's what I've come to understand. You just keep doing, you just change your perspective a little bit, like just like 5 degrees, okay? And that will create some kind of, chain reaction or butterfly effect or what have you, and create a new history. And so things have always been allowed this way. Women, not only have we been persecuted, but also I think that thanks to that, and mixed up with our nature, it created something very toxic. And society has allowed these women to get away with hurting their children and so many other people. But when we change our perspective a little bit, they kind of like fall away, like autumn leaves. They land on the ground, and then somebody comes with with a leaf blower or a rake, and that's it. That's all it takes. Just a little bit of, okay. And that's what I had to do. a little bit before she died, before my mom died. And I was able to heal exponentially very, very quickly after that, because I wasn't fighting, okay? If anything doesn't make any sense because I do ramble, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening, and I think that next week I'll start doing kind of like double videos where I'll be ranting or talking or whatever, rambling while I'm doing something. So on that note, today is Friday. Have a beautiful weekend and take good care of yourselves. Stay happy and healthy.